Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we talked with state officials about how Kentuckians can help one another financially after many have lost their jobs. And while the Team Kentucky Fund is being pushed by Governor Beshear, we talked with officials here in Perry County about a similar fund to help people working in the county. And as school districts figure out how to finish schools online, we take a look at how officials in Floyd County are looking after students' emotional health.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Katie Cook. It is Wednesday, April the 1st, and your time is about 5:33. Let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. Brandon, when I was leaving this morning, it was a little chilly and there were a few sprinkles of rain, but will we need that rain jacket all day today?
Not all day, I don't think, but it is going to be kind of a gloomy first day to April here, so just be ready for that. Be ready for some cooler temperatures. You might need your jacket all day today. Let's take a look, see what's going on right now. Live pinpoint Doppler radar. Just a few specks of green showing up there as we see a few scattered showers still across parts of eastern and southern Kentucky there, parts of the other states as well. Some dense fog in some areas there, especially from basically through the lower Big Sandy all the way into southwest Virginia, back down into the Cumberland Valley there toward Tennessee. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s to start your day off this morning, and they'll head toward about 48, maybe close to 50 in some areas today later on this afternoon, but those clouds will hang tough. There is some relief in sight. I'll talk about it here in just a few minutes. Katie?
All right, thank you, Brandon. Well, yesterday, the U.S. had its deadliest day in the coronavirus pandemic. 500 people reportedly died from the virus. The naval ship Comfort is now docked in New York City's harbor and ready to accept non-coronavirus patients to help relieve overcrowding in hospitals. Florida has the 5th highest number of cases in the United States, and the governor is now weighing what to do with 2 Holland American cruise ships carrying dozens of sick and now 4 dead passengers. And back here in Kentucky, the Bluegrass State saw its biggest one-day increase in coronavirus cases yesterday. Governor Andy Beshear announced 114 new cases and 7 new deaths. Kentucky now has at least 594 cases and 18 deaths. The COVID-19 pandemic has hit a lot of people hard financially, but others have weathered this storm and can help out. Kentucky's governor and lieutenant governor are calling on those Kentuckians to help their neighbors. One way is through the Team Kentucky Fund. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman about how that fund involves Kentuckians helping Kentuckians.
Thousands of people have lost their jobs.
The volume of calls that we received were 80,000 in one day, and then the next day we received 180,000.
All of those people seeking unemployment, but that only goes so far.
Our number one priority is to make sure that these funds go to folks who have lost their job.
Already 4,600 donations have been received, totaling more than $390,000.
And to still have that many donations ranging from, $1 to much more than that. It gives me hope, and it reminds me why I'm so proud to be a Kentuckian.
The Team Kentucky Fund is being administered through the Public Protection Cabinet. Exactly how people will be chosen to receive this money, all of that is still being worked out. There will be an application process, and the details on that will be released at a later time.
Coach Cal.
In the meantime, Coleman says Governor Beshear will have some more high-profile help as part of his 5 o'clock news conferences.
And I have enlisted some familiar faces in Kentucky to help with that, and so the governor's going to have some good news on that soon.
To donate, you can go to donate.ky.gov. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Coleman says they continue to add workers to help with unemployment claims and recently added a callback feature so people won't have to stay on the phone for as long. And alongside the Team Kentucky Fund pushed by the governor, there is another fund to help some in eastern Kentucky. The Team Hazard Perry Fund is designed to help people who live and work in Perry County. Along with a yard sign fundraiser, officials are asking for donations so that bills and other necessities can be picked up for eastern Kentuckians who may be laid off during the COVID-19 pandemic.
We would like to see every yard in Perry County have one of these signs in. And also, if you work in Knott County, or if you live in Knott County or Leslie County, but you work in Perry County, this fund is for that type of person.
10 more seconds.
We have the website for the yard sign and for applications on our website at WYMT.com. Well, testing is a key component in fighting the coronavirus. WYMT's Madison program takes us to a drive-through clinic that is now testing for the virus in Hazard.
The ability to test people is key to fight COVID-19. Primary Care Centers is ramping up their testing capabilities with a drive-through system.
There is a screening person who will screen those patients to make sure that they meet the criteria.
Criteria including 3 types of patients.
Right now we're testing those people who are essential workers. That means people that are still working, delivery drivers, food workers, retail workers, healthcare workers,
as well as symptoms of cough, shortness of breath, and/or fever.
We are also testing anyone 60 or older who has a chronic health condition, or anyone who cares for someone 60 and over with a chronic health condition.
Nurse practitioner Christy Harold explains what the test is like for the patients.
Each swab has marked as to how far it goes back, and it's probably about that far. Most people have tolerated it very well. It's a little uncomfortable, but it's not painful.
Not only looking out for their patients during the process, but medical staff.
They're using full PPE. They're using goggles, masks, gloves, gowns, and shoe protection. And they will be just in this area.
Reminding people to try to combat the virus before testing is needed.
We just need to remind everybody to continue the social distancing, wash your hands, cover your cough, try to stay 6 foot away.
People doing their part and all they can to fight the spread. In Perry County, Madison program, WYMT Mountain News.
Test results now come back typically in 48 to 72 hours. Primary Care is testing for COVID-19 from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. and has the capability to test nearly 150 people per day. Well, as temperatures start warming up, some folks worry if mosquitoes can spread COVID-19. Experts say, as far as they know, mosquitoes do not spread the virus. Now, that does not mean you should not be careful with those flying pests, which still can spread other diseases. Kentucky is an ideal habitat for mosquitoes. They are semi-aquatic, and it's already been a very wet year in the bluegrass.
So people do need to be concerned. There are other issues that can come up that we shouldn't forget about just because of the coronavirus. West Nile virus is, of course, one with mosquitoes. We saw an encephalitis outbreak in some northern states last year with mosquitoes.
So as temperatures warm up, make sure to not leave standing water near your home and grab some insect repellent as you head outside. One Williamsburg dance studio is staying open despite having to close its doors a couple weeks ago. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds talked to owners of that studio about how they are staying on track with their classes from home.
The Dance Center in Williamsburg is a second home for more than 100 students each week.
The lobby is full of life and excitement, and everybody's always really excited to see each other, and so there's a lot of energy here on a normal week of class, for sure.
But because of COVID-19, the studio closed 3 weeks ago.
I'm emotional today even. It's been really hard. Sometimes that social distancing just really gets to you. I'm having a hard day with it today.
So they turned to doing classes online. As for their new studios, for students like Parker and Jaslyn,
it's my living room. I have a carpet that I use for when I do tap dancing so I don't scratch the floor. And then for the rest of it, I move the carpet out of the way for point and modern and everything, and I just use the hard floor.
most importantly,
I miss everybody. I miss all the dance friends. I miss Miss Lindsay, but through the Zoom classes, we still get to talk to each other, which is nice. We do virtual high fives and send each other hearts and, blow kisses and all of that. So we're still trying to share the love, even if we're, not together in person right now.
not skipping a beat even when they cannot be together. Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
As of right now, the studio is hoping to have their dance recital for the year on time at the end of May. Well, as local school districts figure out how to complete school online, Floyd County schools are putting students' emotional health at the forefront, creating a hotline for students to call if they are stressed. The hotline gives students the opportunity to still talk to their school counselors. They have 2 psychologists and 7 counselors available to talk to. Students can call the hotline and request a certain counselor or talk to anyone available.
You know, they had a concern that they really wanted to be able to stay in contact with their students a little easier, and not just students but parents. And, you know, right now we have all of our staff, even our counselors, that are calling throughout the day, checking on students individually.
The hotline is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. The number is 606-886-4546. Today, April 1st, is Census Day, a day to promote participation in the 2020 census. But the U.S. Census count is being disrupted by the COVID-19 crisis. Nearly 35% of U.S. households have already postponed, but door-to-door census deliveries are now on hold to millions of homes in some rural areas. The need for an accurate count ensures communities get political representation and federal dollars for a variety of essential services.
Those funds, those resources that are provided to communities across the country, they deal with things like emergency preparedness.
While these unprecedented times are presenting challenges for the Census Bureau, officials still insist they will meet the deadline mandated by the Constitution to ensure everyone is counted. The official deadline to respond to the census is now August 14th. Just ahead on Mountain News this morning, the Chris Stapleton concert many were looking forward to later this month is now on hold.
We start April on a gloomy note, but some brighter days are ahead. I'll tell you when in about 3 minutes.